hi guys, we are here with our next YouTube video with another interviewee. So we're going to try and keep it serious, but I'm already struggling to keep them in line. It's difficult.
Not me.
And what you can't see at the other side of the
camera
is Liam Wiggins, who's causing, he's turned his back on us now, thank God, but yeah, it's causing problems.
Already having a cry.
Yeah, so our last video we did, you probably saw, we interviewed Minnie and we were talking about her nutrition. It was a slightly different angle to today because she has, well, she's 22, she's a female, obviously she's a mum, she had different problems with her
She was
health.
not like confident with the gym.
She has anxiety, so that was a struggle. So today it's a completely different angle, isn't it, with Duane? Sorry, here he is. Duane's here today.
Nice
How old are you, Duane?
28.
28.
Soon to be 29.
A little bit older, and he knows how to train, and he knows what he should eat. So the angle coming from slightly different here today, and how we can help him out and get back on track.
A different person, different problems,
Exactly.
different challenges.
Different challenges. So maybe you just take the camera and tell us a bit about you, what your interests are in terms of what you do.
Right. I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, you can, it's up to you.
Yeah, 28 years old. I'm a trainee teacher at the moment.
What do you teach?
Sports. So I'm doing PE at the moment. Yeah.
So he definitely knows what he's doing.
Should be knowing like that. If you can't do, you teach. So that's what I'm like at the moment. Been playing rugby most of my life as well since I was about 12, 13 years old. That's how I know your good friend and colleague Liam Wiggins as well from my time at university. Yeah, I've been someone who's always trained as well from a young age. So I've been involved at the gym since I was about 15 years old as well. I'm a love-hate relationship when it comes to the gym.
Right.
I love training, I love all that stuff, but I am definitely somebody who knows what he needs to do, knows how to do the bare minimum and just enough to get by, you know, to see sort of results, but I do get lazy with it as well. So that's,
you're alone in that.
yeah, that's probably my biggest problem when it comes to the gym.
Why do you think you get lazy with it? What is it about it that sort of you lose your interest with?
Do you know, I'm going to go back to, I think it was about over a year and a half ago or something, the last time when I was really sort of seeing good results. And I was training probably 4 or 5 times a week, regularly coming down, getting sessions as well. And I was loving it. I loved the training side of it, but the one side of it I wasn't doing, I wasn't eating right. And I think they sort of go hand in hand with the lifestyle.
What do you class as not eating right? What does that look like for you?
Portions.
Portions,
yeah.
right,
like,
okay.
So I'm one of those who, I'll cook a bolognese, for example, in a stir-fried pan.
Yeah.
And probably half it will go in on the plate.
Right.
That, you know what I mean? That's what I'm like.
So you'd consider the food that's going in is what you consider pretty healthy. It's the amount, really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What I'm not adding is like I will slap a ton of cheese on that bolognese. So I was bad for, and like, you know, the last personal trainer I had, it was a bit of a joke, but joking. I'm joking. No, sorry, I'll do that again. So
That's alright.
no, but what is it? We sort of discovered that like I was getting a very, I know it was fat, but it was a bloated stomach as well. It felt quite bloated.
Okay.
So we weren't sure about sort of my reaction to dairy. I've never had a lactose intolerance or anything like that, you know, from the doctor, but I cut down the dairy and I did see results with it. I think going back to that original question, like of what stopped me, I saw results and like in my head it was like job done. Yeah, I was like job done.
Yeah.
So I don't need to keep sort of pushing on, and I didn't train as hard. Then I got comfortable. And
So what was when you said about a year and a half you were in the best shape you considered yourself to have been in? Would you say?
For a time being.
For that time.
Best shape for a while. I think the best shape I've been in is when I was playing regularly, rugby regularly. When we were younger. I think there were times where I was in a lot better physical shape in terms of my physical fitness, but I got to a stage at that time where I think I was, in terms of training wise, I think I felt physically fit again. You know, I'm at even my running times and that.
You play rugby league?
Rugby league,
Yeah.
the only rugby to play really.
Well.
Like, you know, you wouldn't play rugby union, would you, unless you were, you know, a bit desperate for money. So that's the only time you'd do rugby union. Or just not good enough for league.
Right.
So, but anyway.
Yeah,
right.
good.
So
is that now at this stage what you're driving to get back to that point? What you saw then in terms of your weight, how you were, body fat percentage or whatever it was?
No, I want to be much better than that. Yeah, I want to be much better. I was happy with that. I was happy to a degree, but I even look back then and like, you know, my stomach area was still quite bloated, and that definitely was to do with the fact that I was training hard, I was training regular, I wasn't eating right.
No.
You know, so I didn't.
Well, that old analogy, you can't out-train a bad diet. I mean, it's fact, isn't it? You can't really, can you? Well, you'd have
to do a lot of training.
You have to do a lot of training to get rid of that.
Phelps' diet is awful.
Is it? What's that like?
It's like, so he has like French toast and pancakes on the morning.
Yeah.
He has like pounds worth of pasta, like 2 meals, massive.
And he seems to be.
Ham and cheese and mayonnaise sandwiches, but
he's training it out.
The bloke's swimming like 15, 20
Yeah.
miles a day.
I get it. So
Twice a
there's
day.
always exceptions to the rule.
That's it,
That's it.
That's the dream.
It sounds to me like you suffer with more than anything, you're just being a bit complacent.
Yeah.
I think that's spot on.
It's like
Yeah,
what
I
men
think
are
it's
like
spot
that.
It's true. But has anything changed in your life since that point? We were talking back to personal life's changed to cause you not to train.
I would say I'm one of these people, I live in my head. So I very much live in my own head. And I was at a stage in my life where I was working a job that I'd sort of fallen a bit out of love with. It just felt like I wasn't progressing or making any sort of progression in my life in general. So I got very bored and I got very sort of just down in my own head really. Taught myself out of it, and it's the old analogy and it's probably a cop out, but my comfort is a nice meal or like, you know,
you're not alone.
you get to one of them and you're like, oh, I'm just going to treat myself to this, and
then it's an ever decreasing type thing, isn't
Yeah.
it?
It's strange
Feeling worse
that,
for that reason.
because you say you like training.
Yeah.
And like you've always been active in terms of sport, but then when something happens like work-wise, you stop doing things that you enjoy.
It knocks you.
I never looked at it like that.
Because like if you'd have kept up with it, potentially you'd have been in a better headspace.
Yeah.
Because you're doing something that obviously, like exercising, is good for your emotional and mental well-being.
state.
It's like proven, and everyone feels, but you never. It's that whole, if you're talking about sayings, you never regret the workout. The only workout you regret is the one that you don't do.
Yeah, cheesy
Spot
but
on.
true.
Yeah, it is though, isn't it? Like
Yeah,
the cheesy
true.
ones always like it's spot on with that, and it is that, and I think it goes back to that whole living in my own head. You know, like because
So you're not a good
You can
talker.
convince yourself.
yeah, like I'm one of those who, like through job, through anything like that, I'm good at convincing other people to do things. I'm good at doing that, but to myself, I guess I get a bit scared of the work that I've got to put in.
Right.
You know, and it is that. It's like I know I got to a stage where it was really good and I was happy, but I knew that actually, as tough as I've had to work there, I've got to still work just as hard, if not harder, to sort of push it on there. And I was just like, you can't do that. You know, in my head, I was
Already
like,
told yourself.
Yeah, I'd already said to myself, you can't do it. So
Yeah.
I was fighting an uphill battle type
I think
thing.
from the nutrition side of things, you need to know, sort of like, it's easy to say, but not frame it as being something that's hard work. Make it as easy for you as possible.
Of course.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you like big portions, for example, that's one thing you said, like portion size is a struggle. Why not just eat bigger portion, but maybe reduce the amount of meals that you eat to start with? Do you know what I
While
mean?
we're on nutrition, why don't we focus a bit on that and talk about how did you monitor your diet before? Was there any sort of tracking involved?
I started off with the app.
Fitness Pal?
Yeah, or My Fitness, one of them.
Yeah.
Like, and I started tracking it at first, and I give up with that because I was like, oh, I can't put KFC into it. You know what I mean? I was
You were
like,
surprised?
I know I can, but I was.
Surprised, yeah.
Well, my fear was that I'd put it in and then Wiggins would see it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So I was like,
Well, laughing
I
about it,
can't.
but that is the issue, isn't it?
Yeah,
As soon
that-
as it's that
that
old
was it.
analogy you talked about with the car in the morning, as soon as you've had the KFC, right, well, I failed, that's it, done.
Yeah.
It's not, it shouldn't be like that,
You
should
realise
it?
what Wiggins eats, don't you?
Oh no,
Yeah,
it is.
you know what
But
I mean?
honestly, I used to see his Subway order every time. Italian BLT.
Meatball marinara Italian BMT,
Yeah.
two footlongs of each.
Yeah, no salads,
Yeah.
just sauce.
But
Sauce,
some way he fits
meat
that
and
into
cheese.
his diet, and it seems to obviously
Yeah.
work for him.
That's it.
So, you know,
I mean,
that's-
I don't like to shoot a man down, but supplements. You know, but, you know, I'm joking.
Oh.
Wink, wink. No,
Oh,
it's,
dear.
but he does, and you know, he trains to a good level and
Yeah.
that with it.
But yeah,
But
in terms, so tracking has been a bit of a nightmare for you. Whenever you felt like you've eaten something you failed on, you've just sort of thought, sod it.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, it was that, and it was. I didn't put that meal in, so I was like,
So
right.
what's the point?
Yeah, I was like, I've already lied. Why sort of crack on?
Yeah.
And it was that.
Yeah. That's
yeah.
one thing. Probably you just need to log it and make yourself realise that you haven't failed every time you've eaten the odd KFC. And
Do you know what I would do? Because like a lot of the times when it comes to logging, like people log like meal by meal by meal. So
Yep.
they'll eat the breakfast, then they'll
Yeah.
log it. They'll eat the lunch, then they'll log it, and then they'll eat the
Yeah.
dinner, and then they'll log it. But you could potentially like work backwards from it. So let's say you want to eat a KFC. There's definitely KFC in MyFitnessPal, and people have got like a meal that they'll go to. So like if I was to get a pizza, I'd generally get a pepperoni one.
yeah.
So whatever meal you eat at KFC, track that first, and then that'll tell you what calories are left, and you just make the rest of your
Yeah.
meal fit within that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Driving
that
yourself.
way you're not running over, so
Yeah.
to speak.
No,
Or
that's
you
it.
could, in a similar vein, you work your calories out. You know how many calories are in a KFC, for example, and just reduce that over 5 days. So it takes 1,000 calories. Take 200 calories off each day. You can eat it no problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I
That's
mean?
fun, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, could you see yourself getting back to tracking? If you want to do this, and obviously we haven't really talked specifically about goals yet, but could you see yourself getting back into tracking in some way?
Yeah,
Or
I could
is it
give
one of
it.
those things that you just think, oh God.
No, I could definitely give it a go again. Like, you know, it's one of them. I'm a lot more on top. Just through now the work that I'm doing, I'm a lot more on top of like admin.
You've got a
And, you know,
routine.
tracking. Yeah,
Settled and
there is.
That's great.
Yeah,
That
there is a
helps.
lot more routine to my life now as well. You know, like I know where I'll be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday,
You know,
Thursday,
when you can
Friday
fit
type
food
of
in,
thing.
breaks.
Yeah,
Good.
I know
Yeah.
what I'll be doing in terms of that. So I'm in a better headspace with that
Organised.
all. Yeah, I'm just a bit more organised in general. So
So in terms of that, probably relates for your training as well. Have you got certain days a week you can train? Do you sort of train a number of times? What's your normal routine?
in
with training?
terms of it, well, the last probably since January now, I've been able to kick off with. I'm probably in a minimum of 3-4 times a week,
Yeah.
anywhere like that. And that includes sort of coming over seeing Wiggins as well.
Yeah, and you're still
Um,
playing rugby,
No, I'm
No.
not playing anymore.
and you're
No,
not bothered about getting back into that. No.
Absolutely
That's
not.
not a goal for you
No,
as
that's
such.
it. I'm way
So
done
now
with
it's just a
rugby
case
now.
of training
Yeah.
for you, keeping fit.
Well, yeah. Well, in September, well, before September, really, I should talk about. Like, I'm in August. Sorry, I'm getting married. So
Oh,
that's
right.
So
What date in August?
8th of August. Like,
See, Minnie who spoke to us 1st of August, so this is good.
Yeah.
We've got some serious dates.
So
So that's huge. I didn't realise.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's sort of the
That's
big
your
kick up
motivation.
the backside. Yeah,
Massive,
there's that,
right.
and then in September I'm doing the Great North Run.
Oh,
So,
wow.
Good to
like,
keep it on
Fitness
till after
and-
that.
yeah. So like it's like I want to be in a good routine that I can enjoy the wedding, enjoy the honeymoon,
Yeah.
and still then when I'm back, you know,
Smashing Great North Run.
there we
Exactly.
go. So that's the aim now, and as well as that, I've got into teaching.
Yeah.
So that's the big focus at the moment. I'm teaching PE, so it's like you've got to be a role model. You know, you've got to look like you live the life that you're preaching to them, and
Yeah.
you're trying to encourage them. That's a big part of it, you know. And if I'm there demonstrating, sweating, looking absolutely knackered, you know, like
Yeah.
through something I'm
You
asking
feel a
them to do.
fraud almost.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
and
I get it.
it all adds up to how much like the kids respect what what you're saying to them, or like you say, they think whatever, man, you don't do it, so why should I?
Yeah,
Type
it's
of thing.
great motivation,
So
that, isn't it?
yeah, there's a lot of factors now that have come into my life which I've taken serious and I've got to sort of
How long
push
have you been a
on.
teacher, did you say? Sorry.
Just since September, so I'm
Right,
doing my teacher
right,
training
yeah.
at the moment. Yeah, like
That's
so.
good. But yeah, it's always had a good impact on your life and what you know, how you feel about things going forward.
Oh yeah, massive.
So what is the goal? We haven't actually specified. I mean, what's the goal for you? What do you want to achieve? We know about the Great North Road. That's a big one.
The big one for me is I want to be comfortable in my clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I want to be comfortable in my clothes. I want to be able to look at pictures of myself and not, you know me. I hate looking at pictures of myself at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I don't enjoy it from, even as daft as it sounds. This now I'm thinking, does this angle make me look fat and huge? You know what I
So
mean?
it's not just women that feel like that.
Oh,
That makes me feel
absolutely
better.
not.
Every week you get my ball patch in these videos.
We try not to, don't we?
You do it on purpose.
No, as if. I'm very sensitive
She's
about
going
it.
around back of my head like
He's
this.
such a liar.
And then
He's such a
Wiggins
liar.
sees it on video, and I just don't end of
That's
it.
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
zooms in.
Yeah, so
Probably,
he puts little birds on it and makes little tweety noises. Sort of person that he is. You know what I
That's
mean?
terrible.
I call it duck pond
No,
sometimes.
you are.
Yes, he
We
does.
get-
You're
no,
making
he
it
does
worse
that.
by
No, he does
saying
that.
that.
No.
I know, I can hear him, yeah.
But no.
So yeah, in terms, you just said then, I want to feel comfortable in my clothes. So what does that look like? Does it look like a certain size of, you know, men measure things in waist size,
I mean,
hips, whatever?
I'm clocking in, and I'm not overly sort of big on the actual how much I weigh, but
No.
I'm clocking in at the moment at about, I think last time I weighed I was 16.5,
Is that
something
recently?
like that recently. Like that was about, I think that was about a month ago. I was about 16.5.
Okay.
In an ideal world, which this might be a bit too much to ask,
Well, that's
but
the
like,
ideal, love
in
it.
an ideal world, I'd love to get down to maybe about 14 something.
Okay.
So it looks like like 2 stone then.
Around that.
So you get to about 14 and a half.
Yeah, if I was around that, I'd be happy because I'm not playing
You're quite
anymore.
tall. How tall?
So 6 foot on camera.
Ah,
6 foot on camera.
That's why we're sat down on these
Five-
ice
yeah.
stools so we get to.
5'11" in doctors.
Right.
5'11" in
You're not
doctors.
sure, are you? That's the main thing.
6 foot.
Okay,
So,
6 foot,
yeah,
16
but
and
no,
a half, 16.
but no, so you know, especially doing the Great North Run, I don't want to be doing it at 16s.
It's
You know,
harder
16
to
on
lug a
stone.
heavier body round and length for that race, isn't it?
I've been doing a bit of running recently, and how long ago was it, Wiggins? It's about January time.
Your knee give you
Sorry, knee just sort of went a little
Right.
bit like, and
Is that an existing injury? you've
never had a
from
knee
rugby?
injury before.
Interesting,
Like,
right.
never had knee injuries before. So I wasn't sure if that was just a case of just the impact of constant running and
Maybe
just,
a bit heavier
you
than you
know,
should be, maybe.
yeah,
That's
running.
what we said, didn't That's what we said.
Yeah.
Too much weight.
Said that running
Mm-hmm.
at too much weight really. So it was one of those. That's the other factor that it's not necessarily. I don't think it'd necessarily stop me doing it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the after effects.
You don't want any
you know.
long-term
No.
issues from it.
This is it. So yeah, ideally it'd look like that.
Yeah,
I'd be a lot more solid
Yeah.
in terms of, you know, the waist would be a bit smaller, the gut
Yeah.
wouldn't be, you know, anywhere near as sort of prominent. Yeah, it's just big.
So,
Not
so
a change,
maybe,
it's a fancy
yeah,
word.
do it away along with some sort of measurements, circumference measurements. I don't know. Have you ever had? I mean, body fat's one of those.
I think it comes
things,
down to, obviously you want your circumference measurements to go down, you want your weight to go down,
Yeah.
you want to look like a certain way,
Yeah.
and you want to be able to perform to a certain level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you've
And
got
it's
everything
the way
there.
of measuring those 4 things. So obviously take your circumference measurements, take your weight, okay, monitor your performance in the gym
Yeah.
through whatever sort of fitness tests Wiggins gives you.
Yeah, which
or monitoring your running performance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Running
so
10,
we can
50,
confer with him over that, how you're
20
improving on that.
kilometres.
Mm.
But I think the biggest thing for you is to, like, it sounds a lot like you lose like motivation with stuff.
Yeah.
But I think everyone's guilty of that. Well, motivation's not there all the time.
No.
Do you know what I mean? Like people lose motivation. You know, we joke about like Liam's diet being rubbish with like his subweights and stuff. But one thing that he does have, I can't believe I'm saying this on camera, but he's got discipline.
Yeah.
Like he trains
Yeah.
4 or 5 times a week. Do you know what I mean? His diet might not be perfect, but I bet you he eats enough protein.
Yeah.
For example, he's disciplined in that he walks his dog twice a day,
Plays rugby.
every day.
Yeah.
He's disciplined that he plays rugby once a week.
Not to a great standard, but yeah.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you know.
Still doing it. Yeah.
He's getting old. He ain't quite got the legs that he used to.
He never had legs, but yeah.
He's still done that.
Well, he's sort of saying he's got a
up to
routine.
training. He's
Yeah.
got a routine. And he sticks to his
ticking it off.
routine. And it's discipline that's the difference. Being disciplined with stuff. That's what
right.
dictates someone getting results and someone not. Because everyone
Consistency.
starts off motivated.
Yeah.
But it's the discipline that keeps you consistent.
Yeah. Making it part of your lifestyle.
Yeah.
You know, you train on a Monday. You're going to come at this time after work and just make. Well,
Yeah.
You'll have had that before. You know about routine.
I think
fitting things in.
the other thing to do is to break your goals into like much smaller
Yeah.
ones, because like where you're at now to where you want to be, it might seem like, oh, I'm not a million miles away, but
It
it's
feels unachievable.
far enough away.
Yeah.
But it's like that's when the doubts creep in. Like, can I do this?
Yeah.
No, I get it.
So like if you want to lose 2 stone, 2 stone's what, 28 pounds?
Yep.
So that'd be theoretically, if you was to lose £1 a week, that'd take you about 6 months. Like where we're at now, February,
We'll say perhaps
March, April, May, June, July,
So it's 5
August. So
full
you've got 5
months.
full months.
Yeah.
You're like, you could theoretically be well within reach of being
Yeah.
2 stone down by that time, just by losing £1 a week
Yeah.
when it comes to weight.
True, but
Do
you
you
know
know
it's
what I
going to
mean?
come off quicker at the start, so it's probably worth trying to knock off more at the beginning because it gets harder.
Yeah,
we
it
know
does.
that.
That's it. So you're going to knock off potentially £3-4 a week at the start. Sometimes you'll have weeks where, like Mel says, you won't lose out.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's breaking it down into smaller goals and
Yeah.
repeating those steps on a weekly basis.
That's right.
You'll get a lot closer to that end goal. So it'll be things like establishing a routine of training 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay, tracking your calories every day and
Yeah.
working back off of them if you're going to have something naughty or whatever you want to call it.
And obviously in terms of
Do you know what I
calories,
mean?
I'll interrupt you, we'll sort of set,
Yeah,
we'll
yeah,
decide
yeah.
where
Well,
we're going to set the calories
Yeah.
as such. I don't know if you've ever done that before, had your calories set for you at a certain level or...
We sort of we did talk around that before at one stage, around that time where I did get into decent
Yeah,
sort of nick.
something,
We talked briefly around, and it was more sort of the diet that sort of was given.
Yeah.
Around telling me what I should and shouldn't be eating.
Okay.
You know, around that. So I don't think we necessarily focused
Oh,
heavily on calories,
more
on a
the quality
number.
of the food that
Yeah,
you're
more
eating.
the actual
Nothing wrong
food
with
that I
that,
was
yeah.
getting. Yeah.
So yeah, we'll take
Yeah.
that sort of approach. Maybe give you like tasks that you need to do in terms of like a day or a week, and then how that'll lead to your ultimate goal at the end as well.
So it's
obviously.
almost like a timeline, right? This is where we're aiming for,
Well, it's
and
like
we
a
want
map,
to be at
isn't
this
it?
stage. Yeah,
It's like a
every
map,
month we
and
wanna be at
these
this
are
stage.
like your stop points
Yeah.
along your map. This is the route you're going to take. This
Yeah.
is where you're at currently. This is where I expect you to be in like 4 weeks time, 8 weeks, 12 weeks, whatever.
And again with the fitness, if you've got a time, have you got a time in mind you want to try and hit for this run, or is it just a case of getting through it?
At the moment,
He's got a
Has
time.
he got a time?
He's got a
Yeah,
time.
okay.
Everyone's got a time. No one wants to just finish it.
No.
I was gonna say like it's I don't know. I think I don't know if I'm setting it too low or too high at the moment. Like, but I don't. I'd like to be under 2 hours.
Right.
I would
So,
like
yeah,
to be under
that's
2
another
hours.
thing it's driving towards, isn't
at
it?
the moment, yeah. How under 2 hours, I don't know
No.
yet, but I know that's the initial.
Ballpark, yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I would say is don't be too conservative with your goals either.
Yeah.
Like, again,
Yeah,
using
push
like the
yourself.
cheesy lines and stuff, but like if you aim higher, if you don't reach it, you'll probably end up a lot further than if you aim a
You'd
lot
have
lower.
middle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
so
Do you know what I
true,
mean?
yeah.
So if you want to do Great North Run in under 2 hours, then yeah, set that.
Yeah.
If you want to be 14.5 stone or have a 6-pack or whatever, then go for that. Don't just settle for less.
No.
Aim for that and then absolutely work your ass off to get
Yeah.
to it.
Yeah.
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 It's great for you at the moment. You've got a very definite time point, haven't you?
Yeah.
Working
Yeah.
towards. Hopefully that's motivating enough.
Yeah.
Have you already ordered your suit?
No.
Even better.
Even
better.
Yeah.
I wish that wasn't on camera.
Sorry.
Because
You
no,
should have done.
it's one of the jobs.
Oh,
It's
okay.
one of the jobs. Yeah.
Wasn't a
She's gonna
domestic.
tell you.
Show it to message. Just
No, it's
Oh,
fine,
she
yeah,
won't.
it's
Go on.
fine. So yeah, a goal set, we've got that organised. We'll talk about obviously the calorie level.
Set you some goals, set you some calories,
Get
talk
some
about your
measurements done.
macros and measurements. And
Yeah.
stuff like
Photographs, get them done as well.
that. Is there anything else that you feel like you need help with?
If you know any decent PTs,
Yeah.
that's all.
Definitely
Like,
look
is,
into
I
it.
think I know a couple.
Yeah.
I know a couple.
Just if I had to sum it up, incompetence.
Yeah.
Incompetence. That's it. But no. No, it's I don't think I think that's pretty much where it's at. Like,
Yeah,
with
to be
it.
fair, you've been really good.
You know what you need to do.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's like it's not like you're completely new to the gym or you've never been in shape or you've never been physically fit. You know what you need to do in terms of that side of things. It's
being accountable to
it's
somebody.
the accountability side.
I was gonna say.
Now you've got 3 people who you're going to be accountable to. That's got to be worse.
This is it, and then I've got the big boss at home. Who I'm
Yeah.
Oh,
truly
yeah,
accountable
even more
to,
so,
you know,
even
so-
more
This is going to be one big WhatsApp group.
This
Is
is
this?
what
Do you know
I
what I
mean.
mean?
Really
But
is.
it is literally, I think it is that accountability that I've been missing.
Yeah.
You know, for when we used to play and we train all the time,
Yeah.
it was that you want to be in a certain shape or a certain fitness, so you make sure that you're playing. Yeah, that's it. And when you're playing, you're of a certain standard.
Yeah.
So when I've not had that and I've not had a goal in that sense, then I have been questioning what's the point.
What, floating around,
like,
just treading water.
Because you've got all the tools there in terms of like mindset and everything. It's
Yeah.
just moving them from like a sporting background
Yes.
onto everyday life.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
That's
Definitely. Yeah. But what we'll probably aim to do, once we've got all those things set in place we talked about, is maybe catch up with you in, say, 4 weeks, do something similar, have a chat on camera, see where you're at, what improvements you've made. You might look like a different person by then.
Might have a different PT.
Might have a different PT.
Fingers
Yeah, but apart from
Just
that,
check your progress.
it's just
That's
progress
it.
reports.
That's part of the
literally it.
accountability. And
Yeah.
like, it's just an evaluation of how things are going, where you're at now, what you've been struggling with, what you've not been struggling with, what's going well, and then moving forwards.
Yeah.
Off of that.
That's literally, but yeah, unless you've got anything else to ask us, although to be fair, he's done great, isn't he? He's a good talker.
Yeah.
So you're a good talker, I like it.
cheers.
You're very honest, which is good. But yeah,
No, it's fun. Cheers.
doing that. So
Right.
that's cool.
Sound?
So, in terms of you guys out there in YouTube land, that's today's interview. Obviously, you'll be catching up again, seeing how Duane's progressed in the next sort of 4 weeks. On the road to wedding day number 2. It's unbelievable, isn't it?
Yeah.
2 people getting married so close together.
I call themselves wedding planners.
I know. You know what? This could be a new vocation for
Yeah.
Mel Phil presents wedding planning. Could you just imagine? But anyway, guys, as usual, remember to like the video, subscribe, tell all your friends, because there's going to be someone out there who's similar to Duane in terms of goals and might find this helpful. So yeah, just share it and we'll spread the love.
That sounds so wrong.
Spread the,
That sounds so
spread the
wrong.
word.
Spread the word, man.
Spread the word.
Yeah.
Spread the education.
You might not see me again.